And welcome to episode 27, Aussie Max Zone. Yes, we're here again for another week, our final week before the Christmas break. That's right, we're going to have 2 weeks off, so we won't be here next week or the following week, but we will be back early January. So keep your iPods and radio tuned to where you are now, for Aussie Max Zone next year. So welcome everyone, as we got heaps of stories for you tonight, heaps and heaps as a matter of fact, and to help us get through them, let's introduce the host. But before we do that, I forgot, we better tell you about the Aussie Tech Heads web hosting, athwebhosting.com.au, where you will find packages that would suit your web hosting needs, all from starting at $5.95 all the way up to a magical $9.95. And if there's not a package there that suits you, why not give me an email, send an email into to me or to the support ticket to athwebhosting.com.au, athwebhosting.com.au, and grab yourself a little doodah web hosting package. And also iTunes gift vouchers. If you want to get an iTunes gift voucher before Christmas, well, it's too late now, but maybe early next year, you better start putting reviews up on the Australian iTunes store, and you can grab yourself one of these little $20 gift vouchers, and that's thanks to ithelp2u.com.au, www.ithelp2u.com.au. That's right, it's a name change, ithelp2u.com.au. All right, so as I said, let's get into these hosts, hey? Let's get right into them. Hey, Michael, all the way from, where are you from? Down in Sydney West. How you doing, Michael?
Penrith in Sydney, my friend.
Yeah, well, what's it like down there? Has it been nice down there for you?
Been very nice. Bit warm, but very nice.
Oh, good. All right, and where else have we got? Who we got here? Garth's back this week. Hi, Garth. How you going?
G'day, Glenn, Michael, guys. How's it going, everybody?
Good. What have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks since we've seen you.
Kids. This time of year, they've got this concert, they've got that breakup, they've got, I don't know, one everything. Thing after another.
Yes, look, I've been
taking them to... Yeah,
I've been pretty busy myself with concerts and the like. It's crazy times of year, isn't it? And I'm sure Jason, he's probably got it all to look forward to, or has he? Jason, how you going?
Hi Glenn, hi listeners, and welcoming everyone on PhazeFM now as well as we go out on podcast land and radio land. So
that's
on
right.
A very happy day, if you're an Australian, we've regained the Ashes.
Oh, yes, I've been watching that. I was watching that today. The urn has returned.
Indeed it has.
And what a wonderful, wondrous day it was, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Jason did mention PhazeFM. That's right. If you want to listen to us you can listen to us on the net. We're going out Wednesday nights. So it's FM 104.5 in regional Australia, if you can pick it up. Or if you can't, just go player.phazefm.com.au, PHAZEFM.com.au. And a big shout out to all those guys out there listening on the radio. How are you going? All right. Look, we've got heaps of stories for you tonight to finish off the year. It's probably a quite an interesting little roll up tonight of stories. One of the better ones I've seen in the last couple of weeks. So let's get cracking, hey? Bitcoin hoax dupes Mac users into wiping their hard drive. That's right, another hoax. And who's going to tell us about that? Let's go, Michael. He knows about everything, Michael.
Yeah, so 4chan, someone in 4chan put something up on their image board that said if you type this information, you'll get a Bitcoin, which is currently worth about 1,000 US. So some people turned on their Mac, typed in the information, and what they typed in forces the hard drive to be erased, so you lose all your data.
So it's not as when you erase a hard drive on a Mac, it's not as prominent as like format C : is it? Is it as obvious as that, or is it something little?
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So this is 4chan. They've been at it for the last couple of months, haven't they? They're putting up hoaxes everywhere. I think
they have. There's been a couple. Yeah, there was the one. We spoke about on Aussie Tech Heads. That was for the Xbox One that you press some keys and effectively put the machine into developer mode. But if you weren't a developer, it effectively bricked your machine. And of course, the one from a few months ago that was Apple related around the iPhone, where the iPhone 5 apparently was waterproof, and a few people decided to checked that one out and
Dear,
found that it wasn't waterproof. So 4chan are really the
yeah.
really the the pranksters of the moment. They seem to be rolling out a new one every month at the moment.
I'm not sure where, like, why would somebody end up on 4chan's website? You know what I mean? Like, why? Are you typing in how to format my Mac hard drive or something, or maybe you're just typing in bitcoins? But
it's probably
4chan
showing up in searches or something. I mean, it's a bulletin board, so I guess it's coming up somewhere prominently in a search. So that's probably how it's showing up, and I guess the not so wise are getting duped with some of these.
If you're typing in Bitcoin, maybe people were just typing in the word Bitcoin and it was showing up in a search at that stage. So
yeah, but it's been rather crazy, hasn't it? I can't believe that, especially that waterproof one. I think we brought this story up a couple of weeks ago on the Aussie Mac Zone, and it was if you upgrade your iOS device to iOS 7, the new feature was it made it waterproof. Like, come on. Come on.
Please.
But I know none of you guys out there have done that. I know you're too smart for all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that goes to show you some people do just follow instructions. Like the good example with the GPSs, you know, follow road until you get to the end, and people followed down the wrong road because the GPS sent them down the wrong road and going into a creek, and they go, "Well, the GPS told me to go into the creek," but like, you know. Yeah, crazy.
Where's that soundboard, Glenn? Have we got that working yet?
No. The soundboard will be here in 2014. Don't you worry about that. It will be here. It will be here. All right. Look, we can't go past this next story. Anything with LeAnn Rimes in it, we've got to talk about that. What's she up to, Jace? What's she been doing?
Well, she's talking about her new music video, which was shot with iPhones. So that's the music video for Gasoline and Matches, generating some heat. It features Rob Thomas and Jeff Beck. So I had a quick look at the clip, and it's a pretty good looking clip. And I guess the other interesting thing was that they were shot in different cities and then intertwined together with some animated characters. But yeah, the really interesting thing is it was actually shot with the iPhone, and it look as good as anything that you see out there. Well,
the iPhone is a high def like recording, so it should look pretty good. I'm interested to know, as you said, it looks pretty good, but you still can. I think you can still tell the difference between an iPhone HD or even a normal home user HD camera and a broadcast quality. Obviously, the broadcast quality cameras are better, but that's
the
great.
gap's closing. But I'm pretty sure that I've read some articles where there's been TV shows that have been shot using digital SLRs. You know, granted they are more expensive, but you know, in the thousands of dollars rather than a broadcast camera bringing the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, that gap is really closing from. You know, it was really 10 years ago. It's not something that was really conceivable that in the hands of most home users, you could have a broadcast quality camera.
Yeah, like I was down in JB Hi-Fi the other day, and I was looking at the full HD video cameras, Sony full HD video cameras. Now they were like $300-400, something like that. I remember it was only a couple of years ago when I bought my Sony HD camera. It cost me $2,000. You know, so yeah, $2,000 to $400-500. It's they've certainly come down. And look, when you turn that thing into HD, onto the HD mode, the quality is quite outstanding. Like seriously, I really love the picture that these things can do. These prosumers or consumer things, the gap is closing. You're right. So you're downloading LeAnn Rimes, Jace?
Absolutely,
just for the music, of course.
And led to believe also that the Miley Cyrus video was shot on Android, of course. So.
Has anyone seen? I'm not sure if I brought this up before, but has anyone seen the Miley Cyrus chat roulette wrecking ball?
That's fantastic.
Yeah. If you haven't, Google that on YouTube or YouTube that Miley Cyrus wrecking ball chat roulette, and then guaranteed you will just laugh your pants off. For the next 2 minutes of while you're watching the video. It is really, really funny. So keep an eye out for that. All right. So, look, there's heaps more stories to come. And next, I think we're going to talk about something to do with the Beatles. So stay tuned and we'll be back. All right. Yes, we're back. And yes, we're looking at rare recordings from the Beatles. Now, Garth, you like the Beatles, don't you? Do you like the Beatles?
I love the Beatles. Yeah, I've never bought them on iTunes, but it looks like I'm going to have to now.
Yes, because they held
like 60 odd or 80 or how many was it? Quite a lot of tracks have been released.
Yes,
hitherto unreleased tracks, and main benefit to the company being that they then get to put copyright on it for the next. These are things that were going to come out of copyright at the end of. Or sometime during this year, the 50 years were going to be up, but since they've been released, been actually sold, they can now put another 20 years copyright on the lot.
I don't know if you guys watched the Graham Norton show, but he was on the other. Paul McCartney was on it the other day, or the other night, or the other week, or when it was, recently, and he was saying that he doesn't own the copyright to his music anymore because, as you probably know, famously, I guess, that ended up in the hands of Michael Jackson. And yeah, so every time he goes to play a song of his, especially he brought the example up at the Queen's Jubilee, he had to pay a royalty to sing the song that he wrote and first recorded. Yeah, so interesting. Michael, you're Beatles, Beatlemania, into that?
Beatlemania, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait. Just to hear the differences in the various recordings.
Yeah, so this is a digital compilation of 59 rare and unheard recordings from the Beatles. Is set to be released exclusively on iTunes Store this coming Tuesday, December 17. Well, that's today. So jump on there right now, or maybe tomorrow, US date thing. But but anyway, soon.
Like that.
But recently, remember the Beatles? Now they initially didn't like iTunes, did they? They withheld their songs from iTunes for a long time. Well, they're copyright holders of the Beatles.
Quite a lot of artists did, yeah. It's taken a long time for the majority of people to come over. I think some of the other, who else was it?
Metallica was the
Metallica was the other big standout.
Famous holders. Actually, I don't even know if are they on there now?
Don't know, but AC/DC is another one.
Yeah, the other thing, of course, around with the Beatles was the whole trademark thing around Apple, where the Beatles had Apple records, and because iTunes was to do with music, that dragged on for a long time, and good old Yoko was right in the middle of that.
Well, it's not hard to sit and ponder and come to an answer of who was first with the trademark. Like Apple Records or whatever it was. Like Apple computers probably weren't even around. I suppose it might have been close, actually. It might have been a bit.
No. Apple Records were there well before.
Yeah.
And Apple was what, 1980, 19. Actually, we know Apple was, only a little bit prior to 1980. They went public in 1980. So.
Yeah, I think Apple just think they just wanted it, didn't they? They don't want anyone to call themselves Apple or anything like it. But anyway, the new, if you go looking on iTunes, you will have to type in the Beatles bootleg recordings, 1963. The collection of music is reportedly being released in order to stop the expiration of the copyright protection surrounding the records. Okay, so obviously they're giving it a kick in the pants and generating the copyright by releasing something, as the tracks themselves consist of BBC sessions, alternate versions of the popular hits, and studio outtakes. EU law protects songs for 70 years after they are recorded, but only if they get an official release. So otherwise, the copyright lasts 50 years. Well, that's a bit of interesting information, isn't it? Yeah.
There's always money behind every decision.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Have you got the Beyonce story in there too, Glenn?
Oh, no, I don't.
On a related story. So Beyonce's released her album, surprise album, as a whole album before.
Like the baby, surprise. Surprise baby, surprise album.
Surprise baby, surprise album.
It might have been a surprise pregnancy. She's full of them.
Yeah. So that's, the first time sort of one of the big things with iTunes was that we've gone from buying albums to buying singles. And so Beyonce's released the whole album, one go, no warning, no sort of preliminary stuff, just boom, there's the whole album. You can buy the whole lot or nothing.
Yes.
And then singles to come afterwards.
And then
done amazingly well out of it too.
Absolutely, it's got
amazingly
very,
well.
very good reception. I mean, it's gone wild on Twitter. Yeah, very, very positive reviews and feedback on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's 15 tracks, 17 videos. It's all part of the one deal.
Yeah, right. Wow. Wow. But look, well, just quickly, while we're on the topic of music and everything, now we did talk about this on our other show, actually, the AussieTechHeads.com.au. But look, just quickly, it's Spotify is now, you could do it free on your computer, but now you can also do it free on your tablet. And you can't choose the song free on your iPhone, but you can choose free playlist shuffles on your iPhone. So that's a good step for the iPhone, good step forward for the freebies. But on the tablet, it's free as well, just like your computer. So yeah, check that one out. Spotify. Spotify's not bad. I'm glad that they've done that. I'm not sure how they're going to make all their money, but I'm glad they've done it anyway. It's free. All right. Disney research lets you feel texture on a flat screen. Well, there you go. Who knows about that one? Garth, you know anything about that one?
No, but I think I want to.
Oh, I'll read the story. I'll discuss it with you. Yeah.
Can I say something here? So
Yes.
I've cut a little bit out of this story when I laid it out. So ever wanted to pet a kitten virtually or feel the texture of fruit, and all it went into then was porn. And how just the whole story. One texture goes to another, right? What? So I just cut the porn bit out.
What magazine was this in? It was one of those ones on a pile, on top of the pile in the bathroom.
Well, the articles are good, and that's what they're bought for.
That's right. But so as the story goes along, play a video game where you rely on texture while moving around the darkness. Disney apparently via a technology that uses electrical impulses to fool your touch receptors. You will soon be able to feel texture as far as your brain knows on a flat screen device. The implications for blind people are quite significant. So yes, Garth, of course you would be.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. I'd love that.
You'll have to.
And for those out there who read Braille, they could put Braille feedback on there.
Yes.
That's the one. The voice feedback for blind people is fantastic, and it's great. But if you're in the middle of a lecture and you're trying to actually, you're actually trying to present, having something talking in your ear is not the same as being able to read a note. If you know what I mean, and that's where Braille comes into it. It still is, it seems like antiquated technology in Braille, but it still has its benefit in situations like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to do Braille, Garth?
No, my Braille skills are terrible, basically.
No good.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, look, you'll be able to Google that now, Garth, and put your little RSS reader onto that one. And,
absolutely.
Yeah. So that sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Yes. So all right. So look, we've got a couple of more stories to go, or heaps, in fact. We're not done yet, and I think we're just about halfway through the show. But coming up, we're going to talk about the Apple 64-bit A7 chip. And if I can't scroll this iCloud thing too well, but Apple provides iOS 7.1 beta to developers, so that's good. And Apple stock has created 300 millionaires. We're going to talk all about those coming up really, really soon. Okay. Thanks for joining us here on Aussie Max Zone. You can see us on the internet at aussiemaxzone.com.au. You can join us live if you want to watch the live recording. Is on a Tuesday night at 7:30, and you can navigate to the URL aussietechheads.com.au/live if you want to see that. Go to the Max Zone webpage and you'll find some times, but it's 7:30 Queensland time. Okay, so wherever you are, just adjust your clocks, your little internal clock, and get that going. If you want some news popped into your Twitter feed every 3 times every half an hour, latest breaking news pops in if you want to follow Twitter, if you want to follow the Twitter handle at Aussie Tech News. And also Aussie Tech Radio is also pumping along as a shoutcast service with heaps of other tech shows on there 24/7. So Aussie Tech Radio, all the instructions are there to help you get involved. All right, where are we going to start off? Let's start off. We did that one. Let's go. Well, look, while we're talking about all that other stuff that you can, where you can get us and all that sort of stuff, we should probably have a chat about how do you listen to the Aussie Mac Zone and Aussie Tech Heads on PhazeFM if you're on a Mac. Now, I think, Michael, you've probably put this in the show notes because you had a issue with Safari. Did you streaming the radio?
Trying to actually just get the beginning of the show last week on the PhazeFM on the website. So and it would come up and say with an error, or the player would be there and there'd be no sound whatsoever. So then once I used Google Chrome, it worked. And then during the week, I've been researching it. You have to have the Flash extension in Safari.
Right.
Because it's a Flash-based music player.
Yes,
and there's no iPhone or iPad version that I could get to work.
No.
Yeah. So you want to use TuneIn Radio? Well, I use TuneIn Radio on my iPhone to listen in because, you're quite right. Through the web site, it is a Flash extension, which infamously doesn't work on iOS. iTunes Radio does work very nicely, and that's how I listened to last week's show on PhazeFM.
Nice. Yeah, so if you get stuck, just download Google. I'm sure you know how to do that. You're all pretty smart out there, aren't you? So do that. All right, now, Garth, was this yours? Was this your story, the Apple 64-bit A7 chip? Was that your story?
Unmute audio. Yes, it was. So it just interested me. We were all sitting there. Well, I don't know about you guys out there on listening, but a lot of us were sitting there listening and keeping up with what was happening when they were releasing the latest iOS and the latest devices. And we heard about the 64-bit. Fantastic. First time we'd seen 64-bit processor in an iPhone or in a mobile device of any kind. We're all surprised. But what I found interesting was that, Qualcomm and a lot of the other manufacturers out there of these kinds of chips were also, had their socks knocked off, if you like.
They were slack-jawed, Garth. Slack-jawed, I tell you.
They were. Slack-jawed.
That's a quote, whatever that is. Stunned and unprepared.
Stunned and unprepared. So I don't know about you guys, but I sort of thought, people in the industry would have seen this coming. But apparently not.
Right. Well, so everyone here's got the, well, no, not everyone here's got the new iPhone, have they? Garth, did you get the new iPhone?
No, I'm rocking a 5.
Yes, same here.
Still on the 5.
But I think the other two chaps have got the iPhone 5S. So
loud and proud.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yes. And multiples as far as I know.
Rumor has it.
Rumor does have it. So with that one, Garth, was that all you had to do about that one?
Yeah, basically. Just that, it's amazing, with all the stuff that was leaked around, leading up to WWDC and leading up to the event a month or two ago, to find that other, like Qualcomm and the other manufacturers in the industry who are making these chips are in that field, didn't see that coming. I thought it was quite outstanding, really.
But is Yeah, but is that a good thing? Should the people that develop for the phone and that, should they have been across this or given the opportunity?
Well, the developers had time. The developers have time from when it was released to be able to make their apps compatible, and the process to do that is it's from all accounts isn't such a big deal, but for the other manufacturers who are actually physically making these chipsets, to be slack-jawed, I think is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just on the other side of the river with Samsung, Samsung have plans. So they're planning to bring the 64-bit processors to market in their phones, but they've got nothing yet, nothing launched, nothing really ready. Samsung is rumored to be announcing such a product early in 2014, so it's probably early 2014 is not a long way off, but it's still well behind 6 months behind Apple, isn't it? So.
And what a BlackBerry up to, Glenn?
What a BlackBerry up to? They're not up. They're up to 16, aren't they? 16-bit. They've just released.
They've actually gone retro. They've gone 8-bit.
With EGA graphics and all. Oh, sweet as. And but they've still got the built-in keyboard. So that's something, you know, they're saved. They've saved themselves. Now, Apple provides iOS 7.1 beta to developers with bug fixes for iTunes Match Touch ID tweaks. Jace, did you know anything about that one?
Oh, I've heard a little around it. I'm not on the developer program, so I'm quite free to talk. So it is what I've read off the internet. Look, it really is around some bug fixes and tweaks, and I still think, you know, iOS 7 was just such a big change that there's still things that are being ironed out. I mean, indeed, there's still some fundamental things around icons and that haven't been updated that belong to Apple. So obviously, it was a fairly, you know, a fair rush to the line to deliver it. So, look, I think it's just, you know, we're into maintenance mode more now than there's going to be. We're going to see new features in the short term, but you know, that's just going to add to the stability of the platform, which is always good. And on, not iTunes Match, but iTunes Radio, we should hopefully be seeing that in the new year. That was touted for early 2014, I believe, for Australia. So those of us, so those of us who do have iTunes Match, and I'm a user of that, should be looking forward to seeing that early in the new year, which indeed I am.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm really looking forward to that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you all iTunes Match listeners here then? You know, in the, you know, on the podcast, and I don't know, you guys out there listening, iTunes Match, it's a ringing endorsement from all here, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, well, I think that Apple is probably going to do that sooner rather than later, even if not brought forward, because of this. As I said at the earlier in the show, this Spotify thing. You know, it's now encroaching onto tablets, which just makes the whole music listening just so much easier. And like an iTunes Radio, for all, I don't know too much about it, but you can't listen to individual songs, or is it like Pandora? Does anyone know how it's structured? In how?
Pandora, I think, in terms of getting a particular artist is not an issue, but getting the particular song may be more of an issue. It's more of it's a radio experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I know, like, I'm looking maybe for Christmas, I want to get like a decent little Bluetooth speaker, you know, so you can take your iPad and sit out the back and just Bluetooth it to the speaker, and you've got, you know, you don't have to turn your inside hi-fi up hi-fi. Are they still called?
Hi-Fi.
Hello, fellow hi-fis. Are they still up to the hi-fis? But you know what I mean. But yeah, so that's what.
Welcome to PhazeFM Classical.
Yes. All right. Well, let's move on to that. And look, before we do too much more, we'll just go with this one here. Apple Inc. stock IPO created 300 millionaires. There we go. Who? Michael?
Yeah, 33 years ago, December 12, 1980, Apple went public. And there was 300 millionaires. So that'll be basically all the staff.
Yeah.
And Forrest Gump, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
that was $22 each.
Wow. That'd be pretty expensive even back then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
And that was the biggest IPO since the Ford Motor Company in 1956. So they started off good, didn't they?
Oh, that's they did, because like, you even look around today. How many shares do you know that are worth $22 each? You know, even you look at mining shares, you know, certain ones, there's stacks of them. Things are just like a couple of cents or $2 or $3. Like even the banks, I know the Commonwealth Bank, that's up to probably about 60, but even the other banks, you know, they're hovering maybe around about the $30, something like that. You know, so $22.
Yeah, well, you can't look at the individual share price though, as I'm sure if we're on ATH, we'd be told by.
That's right. Erica tell us all about it.
Erica's tell us off, but yeah.
Yes, but
Still 22 to over 500 is nice.
Yeah. So their first public offering, as Michael said, 12th of December 1980, sold 4.6 million shares at 22 buckaroonies, generating more capital. Yep. Blah blah blah. Michael said all that. By the end of the day,
and it's appreciated over 15,497% to today. So that's not a bad little rise.
No. Realistically, the big rise started in late 2005 when the shares were less than $5 in late 1997, and they're now around $554. So yeah, wow.
Wouldn't you like to bought a few at $5?
Oh yes, wouldn't you what? But crazy. All right. Yeah. Well, look, if you're going to get an iPhone or an iPad or something, or give an iPhone or an iOS device for Christmas, have we got a story for you on how to back up and restore so you can completely not have any speed humps in your experience? And we're going to tell you about that roadmap after this. Yeah, so the roadmap to iOS heaven and seamless experience. Who put that in there? Who's put all the red writing up? I think Michael knows all about that one, don't you? Because you told me last time how to do it. Okay, so you go out and you buy your new iOS. So you go to your Apple store, you come home with a brand spanker, or you get out under the Christmas tree, a little brand spanker iOS 5S, and you've only got it at 4, an iPhone 4. How do you upgrade, Michael, to make sure that you don't lose contacts, settings, and apps, etc.? What's the best way to, what's your roadmap there, your path?
So my roadmap is, so firstly on the old device, go to settings, iCloud, and make sure at least the contacts and calendars are on. And you double check it's working by signing into iCloud.com and checking they're up to date so that they look the same to you.
Mm.
Next, connect your 4S to iTunes. And in the summary tab, you go to backups. And there's a checkbox there, select auto backup to this computer, and then tick the encrypt backup box. It's important to tick that box.
That's where I was falling over.
Password, that you will remember. It's important to remember. It's very important to remember the password. So if I stress that enough, it's very important to remember the password.
Don't forget the password.
Tick the box, remember the password.
Yes.
And then you click backup now, and that'll do a complete backup onto your computer.
Right, and obviously that's encrypted. So once it's on your computer, how do you get it onto your 5S?
So you plug your 5S in. As you're going through the setup process, it says, do you want to set it up as a new device or restore from a backup? You go restore from backup, and it'll put everything back on the way it was.
Right. So now pretty much that's going to do your contacts. It's going to do your apps as well. It's going to
messages.
Right. So it's going to do So it's going to give you a seamless experience, pretty much.
Yeah. Your email addresses.
Yeah.
All of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I made a mistake when I did mine, was that I just didn't do the encrypt the backup, and then and then I didn't get passwords, and I had to, all the apps that had settings and so forth, I had to.
Yeah, you have to go through and redo them all.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas if you just tick that encrypt backup box and do your complete backup, that's the trick.
I've got it done.
Can I just add one thing to that too? Like you're saying, Michael, it's important to tick that box for the encrypt, because then you get your password saved as well. That's the difference. When it's encrypted, it means that iOS will save your iTunes. It'll save all your passwords into iTunes, into your iTunes backup. But the other thing I'd like everyone out there listening, make sure you go into, like Michael was saying, go into iCloud and turn on your iCloud backup as well. Because that will back up for you every 24 hours overnight, just while your phone's plugged in at home, sitting on your Wi-Fi, and on the charger overnight. You'll have an up-to-date backup in iCloud of all your photos, things like that, all that stuff. So many listeners out there, I imagine, and so many people out there they don't always get around to connecting their phone to their computer and taking the photos off. They take all these photos of your kids coming up to Christmas, especially. You're going to be there at Christmas lunch. You'll pull out your phone. You'll take a photo of the kids.
Yep.
And then you'll have a few drinks, and then you'll drop your phone,
or
whatever.
Christmas Day, so, you might decide to do a film clip. So
and then go for a swim.
Yeah. Woo.
So it's not only about having the backup there for when you get your new device. It's for those unforeseen occasions where you drop your phone, where something happens, and all of a sudden you've lost all those photos of the kids, of the dog, of whatever it is, And those are the things that you can't get back. They're those precious moments that you can't get back.
That's right.
So completely free, 5 gigs of storage sitting in iCloud. All you need to do is make sure you go into your settings, go into iCloud and turn on backup.
Yep.
And it could be the difference between having all that stuff and losing the lot.
Now, look, I think if you were listening last week, I did mention right at the end of the show, I mentioned some software that you could use to back up your computer, and also they've got one there that you can, if you've deleted stuff off your iPhone, or you can drag not just contacts and music, but you can drag other stuff off your iPhone as well. So this piece of software, look, I'm only bringing this up again today. Now, if I can get a little screenshot of this, I'll put this up for you, because wouldn't you know it, but 2 days after last week's show went out, they've got 50% off. So if you're interested, and I hope you didn't buy it, now it's 50% off. Don't. But look, it's easeus.com. They've got heaps of stuff there, PC and Mac. So just navigate to the Mac stuff, and there's a nice little Apple Recover, the iPhone Recover software is, I think, free if you bundle it with a 50% off of another purchase. So if you're interested in what I said last week, I just thought I'd just bring that up quickly, because it's 50% off. It only lasts for 3 more days, so get in quick. All right, now back to the show notes. Where are we? Jace, this next story sounds like a breakfast cereal, but it's not. It's Apple TV. What's new with Apple TV?
New stations on Apple TV. So there was another update. So for all of us out there who have an Apple TV, we would have seen an update come through, and that's always much excitement. There's something new to be updated. And in this case, there was some new stations added to Apple TV, and some movies and TV shows. And Michael has put in here one of his favourites, which we might have spoken about in the show before, of comedians in cars getting coffee, which has I've watched a few of the episodes, and there's pretty much name your favourite US comic. I think a fair portion of them have appeared on there, and that's a pretty good watch, isn't it, Michael?
Yes, yeah. It's won a Grammy. Nice. Deservedly so, I think. Yeah.
Is this a free channel? Do you have to pay for the content?
No, it's a free channel.
Nice. Cool. Yeah,
it's called Crackle.
Yes. Oh, yes, we've got to mention that. Told you it sounded like a cereal. So, yeah, Crackle. And, yes, and there's a bit there, so that's good. There's also a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
sorry, go
back. IAS from the Twit Network.
Yep.
He was talking about it the other day, and there was a sci-fi movie in there, which is one of his all-time favourites. I don't even know the name of it, to be honest, but I know he mentioned it on their show. So
nice.
There's plenty out there just on Crackle alone, but
Now, are you guys?
Crackle is Sony, isn't it? Sony Productions is Crackle. So they'll put a lot of their content in rotation through that Crackle app.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, when these come out, these updates, like, I'll tell you what I'm like. I've got to have it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what time of day or night it is. If I see an update, I've got to have it. Why not? Garth, are you the same as that? Are you a immediate update downloader?
Pretty much, Glenn. Pretty much. Given the opportunity, I mean, I've never run late for work because of it, but it's come close.
Jace, are you an immediate? Jace, are you an immediate update downloader?
Absolutely. There must be some new Apple goodness that's coming down the wire when you see the update there, or the little badge on your iPhone saying there's an update. So grab it straight away.
And let me tell you guys, before we ask Michael, let me tell you guys out there that Jason's got an Apple T-shirt on, or an Apple Polo shirt. Where'd you get that from? Little Apple logo on there.
It's from the US, so it's there's a site where you can order Apple gear. So I've got my Apple Polo top and Apple mug. So I think it's Apple. Actually, Apple apparel isn't that easy to get. Apple, they used to sell it, and I think you can actually buy it if you go to Cupertino, but generally it's not available. So those people that get their hands on it, it goes up on websites and eBay and all of that type of stuff. So
now, when you bust it open the packet, did it smell like normal Apple products?
Yes, I had to peel off the plastic wrapper over the top.
Oh, don't we love it? Don't we love it? And Michael, do you?
That's the best part.
That's right. And Michael, are you an immediate update downloader?
Yes, mate, I am.
Yes. Yep.
I am.
Well, I think we all are.
And talking about smelling the new product,
Yes.
there's a couple of guys at Melbourne, one of the universities or something, as their thesis or something, made the scent of an new Apple product,
Right.
and put in a spray can. That was,
Oh.
I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months
Wow.
ago.
So you can use this deodorizer for your cars when you
Yeah.
smell like a new-
A new Apple product, yeah.
Oh, just spray it under your arms. Just walk around like you just come from the Apple factory. Put it in your hair.
And just for any of you guys out there listening, there is a large tongue in our cheeks at this point. Just to clarify.
Oh, real? No, there's not.
What are you talking about?
Look, there'd be some people. I reckon there'd be some people that buy that and would give it a squirt in the pit. When you
I was trying to buy it to put it in one of those walk-by room air fresheners, so you could have that in the shop.
Oh, right.
So when people walk past it just smell like new product all the time in the repair shop.
Yeah, sweet. Just like new carpet. All right. Well, we've got, I think we've only got one more story to go, and then we're going to wrap up for the year. So, which won't take long, but we'll be doing that after this. Okay, and one more story. Welcome back. One more story to go for this year, and it's Apple Store business team staff giving out quotes for the good old Mac Pro that we've been dying to get a look at in a real world situation. So aside from the recent activity, Apple business sales team regarding the new Mac Pro, the rapidly approaching holidays also led to speculation that the Mac Pro launch could come sooner rather than later. Next week, apparently, is the last full week before Christmas. Well, it is. And with many Apple employees having time off around the holiday, that would never happen if Steve was still here. There's no holidays at Christmas. They're just blacked out, the whole lot of them. The company would like,
Yeah.
oh, good old Festivus, would likely prefer to avoid conflicts with the holidays as much as possible. Yeah, well, obviously. So an alternative theory suggests, however, that Apple may still be working to secure the component volumes it needs to produce a launch batch of the machines. So as a result, the company could have little alternative but to launch the new Mac Pro in small volumes at the very end of the month in order to technically meet its stated launch time frame, while being able to push back the bulk of its initial deliveries in early 2014. I don't think. Does Apple really care about timeframes? Well, I suppose that could affect their price stock holding, couldn't it?
Not usually, but they've announced that they're going to do it in December. And, so normally they won't give a date until they know the date. And they've said it's going to be December.
Yeah.
Everything they've released this year's been in small amounts, hasn't it?
Mm.
But in the last 3 months.
Has been in low. Look, let's not say small amounts. Let's say lower amounts than the demand.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think in some cases there have been massive amounts of the product. It's just the demand has also been massive. I don't know that that's going to be the story with the Mac Pro. I know that's not going to be the story of the Mac Pro. A lot of people may want it, but very few out there will be buying it, I'm sure.
I think there's going to be lines out the door, is there?
No.
Well, I can see the disappointment on your face, Garth, that you made.
I know. I had the money burning a hole in my pocket, but I just couldn't get one. There's too much demand.
Yeah.
So I went to my Apple store today because I had one of my customers asking me about it. And so I went in there, said that apparently business team in the States are giving out quotes. And so I went to see the business team at my Apple store. They then emailed Singapore to ask them if they could get the part numbers. And if they can get the part numbers, then they can give out the quotes.
Right.
So I won't know until lunchtime tomorrow whether in Australia they can start giving out quotes yet or not.
Yeah, right, okay, right. Well, let's hope that's going to happen soon. Like, I'm not in the market for one. They're $5,000 each or something, aren't they?
Oh, but look how quick you'll do the show. At the end of each show, you'll have it out.
I know.
We'll all be talking faster because it'll be rendered so quick.
Oh, it would be good. It would be good. Look, I'm gonna find a few Apple fanboys. I'm gonna wrap up some kitchen paper and put a roll of kitchen paper and give it to everyone. So you have Merry Christmas from Apple Business. All right. Well, on that note, yes, it is Christmas, so it's time for us to go. There will be no show for the next 2 weeks, so we're all off having a bit of a break and a bit of a, spending time with friends. I hope you guys are doing the same. We will be back early in the new year, but all through the Christmas break, Aussie Tech Heads is still going to record and produce a show. So the live show might be a bit up and down for those guys, but it'll still be some shows. So keep an eye out for that. So Michael, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year, hopefully.
You and yours, fellas, and your family. Be safe.
Yep, thank
please.
you. And Garth, Merry Christmas. We'll hopefully see you back next year, bright and bubbly.
You will indeed, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks for listening.
And Jace, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I hope Santa comes and brings you what you want.
Yes, Merry Christmas to all our listeners, and to quote a man, T. Cook, it looks like a very iPad Christmas.
Oh, look out! So if you get a new iDevice, make sure you re-listen to the show and jot down Michael's little tips on how to back up and restore, so you have a seamless experience, and you can go from there. So yeah, from all of us, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hope that all your dreams come true. How's that? All the fireworks that you want to see, all the good stuff, and the Apple iPhones and iPads littered around under the tree, and all the good stuff, eh? All right, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.